The hijab has become a hot topic in Singapore ever since a shop assistant says she was asked to remove hers while at work. Although the shop has now changed its rules to allow the head covering, in other professions it's still banned. They include police officers, nurses, flight attendants and some who work in the hospitality industry. Ministers say the ban is for operational and safety reasons. This online petition calling for the government to allow these women to wear the hijab has got more than 50,000 signatures. There have also been reports that women working outside frontline professions have been discriminated against because of wearing the hijab.
Not just myself, but a lot of my friends who don the hijab, every time we send our resumes with our picture attached, we know that we will get lesser callbacks due to the fact that our picture has a hijab on. Because they would prefer a woman that doesn't carry around like faith on her head, I guess.
Although Singapore is predominantly ethnic Chinese, Muslims account for 15% of its 4 million residents.
Singapore prides itself on its multicultural society. There are rules in place to prevent racial disharmony. The sedition law makes hostile or insensitive remarks on race or class a crime. The government, unions and employers have also formed the Tripartite Alliance for Fair and Progressive Employment Practices. But few people know about the organisation. And even if someone does lodge a complaint, the organisation is more of an advisory arbitrator, and its rulings aren't always legally binding.
Although Singapore doesn't allow its frontline workers to wear the hijab, its president does. Halimah Yacob became the country's first female head of state in 2017. She condemned the case of the shop assistant who was asked to remove her hijab, saying there's no place for discrimination in Singapore.
There is a belief here in Singapore about the uniform, and when people have a uniform, then there's an expectation that in that particular workplace there's a certain kind of attempt to be neutral. And this is particularly the case for certain kind of public services, where the idea is that you don't want to highlight somebody who is, because they are racially or religiously different, one look at them makes it look as if they are different. And that would not do well for public services. So there's some concerns about that.
Protesters who want to see the rules changed are highlighting the lack of consistency with work dress codes. Unlike the hijab, the turbans worn by Sikh men are allowed in all workplaces in Singapore. Ministers insist that the hijab should be allowed in workplaces where possible. But unless that sentiment is applied to the public service, the city-state may find itself facing hard questions about discrimination. Melanie, TRT World, Singapore.